Hello and welcome to my video today. I'm going to be showing an accessory that can be used with the AI box that may come in handy during the summer or if you're in an area that is very warm. These AI boxes tend to run on the hot side. I've seen them run anywhere from 50 to 70 degrees Celsius, and that's pretty warm. And a lot of these AI boxes have a heat sink on either the top or the bottom of the case that will dissipate heat. And if you want to get it even cooler, you can add on something that I have looked at for my phone. And here is the device right here. It's fairly small. And what it is it's a heat sink on the bottom and a fan on the top. And it connects via USB to the car, and you can attach this to the AI box and it will bring significant cooling to that device. So as you can see, the current temperature on the Tbox Ambient is 64 degrees Celsius, and down here is the box itself. This is the heat sink on the bottom, and you can feel it feels a little warm. So what I'm going to be doing is attaching the heat sink to it. They have clips. I've seen some have various ways of attaching them. Some have elastic bands. And I am just going to use the clips to grab onto the case. And then it fits on like that, because since these are designed for phones and this is not too far off from the dimensions of a phone, it should attach pretty easily. I have it powered by the USB that's in the center console. All right, now I am going to plug in the heatsink fan, and you can see that it has an LED light in here indicating that it's running, and then there's a fan going. It is super quiet. I have everything turned off in the car. Let me just be quiet for a second and let you listen. Let me run it for several minutes and see what the temperatures look like. Depending on the activity of the AI box, I've seen temperatures range from the upper 40s to the lower 70s. So it is pretty variable, I've noticed over time. As I mentioned in previous videos, you can locate these AI boxes anywhere in the vehicle. You can put it in the center console under the armrest, or in this open area here behind the LCD screen, or even this area down below here. It may be better to locate it in this area here or here so that the GPS functionality is better. I have noticed that the signal strength is stronger when I have it in this area here compared to under the armrest. So depending on your results, you may want to move it to a different location. And I have shown in the previous setup that I used a really short cable. You can use longer USB cables, I would say up to 3 feet, and you may need to have a power splitter on them to provide extra power to the AI box. So if you notice that this AI box is not working with the longer cable, and also I must say, get a USB 3.0 cable, because I find that they're the best for signal and power. But if you do notice that the AI box is not connecting to the CarLink Kit dongle, you may need to add extra power to that. And I have a link in the video description for a splitter cable. They're basically a cable that you plug into the CarLink Kit dongle. It has an extra USB cable attached to it that you can plug into a USB port to provide additional power. And then the other end of that will connect to the AI box. So the AI box will get power from 2 USB ports instead of just from the dongle. And if you have an AI box that is very powerful, since this Tbox Ambient is a mid-range AI box as far as power goes, the more powerful units will need more power. Sometimes they may need twice the wattage to run them. So I also suggest using one of those splitter cables. And a lot of the times, the AI boxes that are more powerful will come with those splitter cables automatically. You don't need to get those as an accessory. So after running this for a few minutes, I'm looking at the temperatures on the monitor here, and I went from 40s to 60s down to 20s to 30s. So pretty significant cooling for this box. And for the most part, it is silent. I don't hear anything from the fan, just a little whir of the fan I can feel right here. Otherwise, it is pretty silent. There are a lot of different manufacturers of these phone coolers, so you can find them on Amazon. I'll have a link to one or two that I recommend. Definitely the one I have right here. I think this one works really well. And they're in the $20 to $25 range, so fairly inexpensive. So you may want to use this cooler if your car is in a very hot climate or driving during the summer and the car gets very hot. You may want to have that. Otherwise, I haven't really had a need for using it during the winter. Where I am located, it seems to keep in a pretty decent range. I haven't seen any slowdown on the box or any errors due to heat. So this may be totally optional, but I want to let people know that if they do notice the temperatures on their device getting a bit warm, I would say if it's over 70 to 75 C, that's pretty toasty. So if it does run at that consistently, I would recommend using one of these coolers. Plus, it doesn't take much more room than the actual box. It's about twice as thick as the box is, and it goes right on top. So I can take this combination of both of these and just push it forward under the LCD screen up there, and there's plenty of room. I don't usually keep anything under this area besides just some cables for my ambient lighting. Or if you want to relocate it so it's not as visible, you may put it underneath this area here in this lower storage bin. It's up to you how you want to position your AI box in the car. So as you can see on the screen here, it's hovering between 29 and 32 C, which is pretty good. May even dip down to the mid-20s. Well, I hope you found this video helpful. If you happen to have an AI box and have overheating issues with either being in a climate that's very hot, or if you have a high-powered AI box that needs cooling, I recommend getting one of these phone coolers for the unit. They're fairly inexpensive, and the only thing it needs is an additional USB port. And if you are short on USB ports, I have a link in the video description where you can purchase from Electrified Ocean a USB wiring harness that will extend from the rear USB ports to additional USB-A ports that you can position either inside the storage bin or along the trim of the center console. Alternatively, you can add additional USB ports by purchasing a hardwire kit to the fuse box. I have videos for both those methods if you need additional USB ports for the car. You can never have enough USB ports. That's something I do recommend adding to the car. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.